Of all the things that I could give myself to write, why sex and money? Well, the answer to that question is really in 3 words that I want to start with this evening, that I really do think capture why these topics are important for us. The first word is the word insanity. In case you don't know it, we've gone crazy when it comes to these 2 areas. You don't have to look very far to see the utter sexual and money insanity of Western culture. I was with my youngest son some years ago in Old Navy. You know, Old Navy is not a radical store. And I was buying him khakis, and I looked across the aisle, and there was the little girls department, and on a rack that had the numbers 5, 6, that was the size, young little girls were micro mini skirts and halter tops. I was immediately filled with rage. I thought, how crazy is this? How if you dress a little girl this way, is she ever going to have a balanced sense of who in the world she is? I wanted to rip down the rack. Except I had my 13-year-old son with me who kept saying, Dad, you're not going to do something, are you? My daughter gets an unexpected gift from one of her friends in a Christian school over Christmas, and it's one of those weird back of a woman's magazine breast development kits. True. She said, Dad, how weird is this that my closest friend, when she thought of getting me a Christmas gift, the only thing she could think was, poor Nicole, her breasts are too small. You can barely go to a mall. You can barely read a magazine. You can barely watch a movie or listen to a piece of music in our culture without having your morals assaulted. In major cities around America, they're actually building daycare centers next to high schools because there's so many girls in high school who are pregnant that daycare center is a necessity for their education. The amount of young teenage children who are experts at oral sex because they've had so much oral sex, and the reason they have it is because they think oral sex isn't really sex. That pornography is the economic engine that drives the internet, a multinational, multi-billion-dollar industry, is itself a scandal. We've gone absolutely crazy in this area. Money crazy as well. I'm convinced that the economic struggle that we've been through is not just about bad banks and not just about predatory Wall Street. It's about a view of money that a culture can't have. We're living beyond our means. We're spending more than we have. We're buying what we cannot afford. We have an ability to spend way much more money than we'll ever make because we can just charge it to these little plastic things that all of us carry. It's crazy. Many families live in this situation where no matter how many raises they get, somehow money always chases lifestyle. And they live in this constant dance with debt, just a couple paychecks away from disaster. We ask money to do for us what money was never meant to do, and it's keeping us in constant economic trouble. We've gone crazy, insane. Second word is the word addiction. We are culturally sex and money addicted. And what's the basis of that addiction? Well, addiction is about this. It's when you ask physical created things to do for you what they weren't created to do. When you look for them for the kind of satisfaction, the kind of sense of well-being, the kind of identity that they were never meant to give you. Sex isn't meant to give you identity. Money isn't meant to give you identity. Money isn't meant to make you walk around with a sense of security and an inner sense of well-being. If you ask money to do that, you will become addicted to money. You'll become addicted to sex, because the buzz of money and the buzz of sex are really quite short. And so you have to go back again and again and again and again and again and again, and before long you find yourself hopelessly addicted. Listen. The church of Jesus Christ, not just the surrounding world, is filled with people who are asking money to do for them what money was never meant to do. The average debt load of the average Christian is empirical evidence of that. The figures say, the studies say that the bulk of the money that's given regularly to local evangelical churches is given by a minority of the people who attend them. One study says there's 10% of regular church attenders in evangelical churches who never put a cent in the plate. That's money addiction. Something's wrong. Third word. First, insanity. Second, addiction. Third word, glory. You see, you won't understand what you're dealing with in these two areas, the area of sex and the area of money, if you don't realize that on the turf of your heart is fought a great big glory war every day. We human beings are hardwired for glory. We love glory. That's why we like the 7-layer mousse cake, the triple overtime NBA game, the great painting, the great piece of music, the hysterical movie, the dramatic play. We're hardwired for glory. We want glory in our lives, and God has created a world that's full of glory. But hear this, all of those physical created glories are actually sign glories. What that means is they're not to be the glory that we live for. All physical created glories are meant to be one big finger that points to the one glory that alone has the ability to satisfy your heart, the glory of God. If you live for these glories, it will make you crazy, because you're not supposed to live for those. Those aren't going to ever give you the life that you're looking for. Physical created glory will never give you life, never bring peace to your heart, never give you a reason to get up in the morning, never make life worthwhile. Physical created glory will never be your Savior. Never, ever, ever. And what we're doing is, with money, we're trying to purchase life. You can't purchase life with money. I hear people saying all the time, if only I had, if only I could experience, if only I could possess, thinking that somehow if they had the next thing, they'd finally become satisfied. It will never happen. The physical created glory is meant to point you to the one who alone is able, in stunning glory, to finally give your heart rest and peace and life. And that war for glory lives in your heart. When you look back on a good week and you say, that was a great week, why would you say that? What did you get that week? What did you experience that week that would make you say, what a great week? If I could just have another week like that one. What was it? What was it? We're insane. You can see the insanity everywhere. We're addicted, in debt, and in bondage. And it's because we've gotten glory wrong. And as long as we have glory wrong, we'll ask the creation to do for us what the creation can never, ever do.